So the food down there is so good. They love meat. They like really like raise the best cows or something because they are so prideful of their meat and how good it is. And they will like eat it for every meal. I remember sometimes I just wanted to make pasta or something with my companions, and they're like, no, we need to go put some meat in it. It has to be meat. We have to have meat for every meal. So I was like, okay. One thing that I loved so much is called Milanese. And what that is like a really thin piece of either meat or chicken or something. And then it's just breaded. But they like put like spices or something on it that like it just makes it flavor so good. So they just like kind of dip that and make it breaded, and then they either fry it, which is like really good but really bad for you, or they'll cook it in the oven. And then they always serve it with mayonnaise. They eat mayonnaise with almost everything down there. So I kind of remember when my first meals with that, they had the Milanese, and like this little girl just like put mayonnaise on it, was like spreading it like with butter over her piece of Milanese. And I was like, wow, is that what we do here? But I was like, okay, I want to try this. So I just like dumped the mayonnaise. It's good that I like mayonnaise, so I did not mind it. And you know, by the end of my time in Argentina, I seriously could not eat anything without mayonnaise anymore because it's just such a commodity. They always have to use it. So that is super good, the Milanese. They also have really good pastas because a lot of people are from Italian descent. So they make, okay, and I didn't even know that you can make homemade noodles till I was down there. They thought I was so weird they're like, oh yeah, I make the best pasta. And I was like, don't you just buy it at a store? And they said, no, we make it from scratch. And I was like, oh, okay. So, but they really do. They are really good noodles. And they always mix them with, well, they always like put a lot of oil in everything they cook, so everything's like really greasy, but they'll put meat in there and then like vegetables, and so really delicious pastas. And then their desserts are so delicious. They always have panderias, which are like bakeries. Like they're always eating bread for every meal. That's a really important thing for them as well, a staple food. Just like white bread though, so I had to stop eating that towards the end. But it's so funny because they just go out in the morning and buy their kilo of bread, and that's what they eat for lunch and dinner. And also in the panderias, they have what they're called facturas, which are kind of like pastries, and they are very delicious. Sometimes they're filled with like a fruit filling with chocolate, or then also it's called dulce de leche, which is kind of like a caramely creamy thing. And that was probably like the happiness of my existence down there. I loved eating the dulce de leche facturas. So it's just like bread with this caramely thing and sprinkled with powdered sugar. Very delicious, very, very great to eat. And in dulce de leche, like on a cake or in anything, that's like one of their #1 things they'll put on. Like I remember one time a member asked me, because I told them we didn't have dulce de leche in the United States, and they're like, well, what do you make for your birthday cakes then? Like, what do you put on top of it? Like, the idea of not to have that was so weird to them. And I tried to explain to them about frosting, but they're like, I don't know what you're talking about, you're crazy. Like, they also have churros with dulce de leche dipped in chocolate, which was another one of my favorite things to eat down there. So they have very delicious treats, and so it makes it really good when you're always eating good food. And they are very prideful about their food and want to cook good meals. And lunch is the main meal down there. So they have a huge lunch. Like they'll drink like herbal tea or chocolate milk in the morning, or milk or something warm usually in the morning, and then with bread, and then they have huge meal with meat and bread. And then sometimes I'll just eat something small for dinner, which is at like 8 or 9 o'clock at night. So we usually just always ate lunches with the members at about 1 o'clock, and it was just amazing. The food is so good.